talk about something small, and I'm going to get a hive mind of questions from everybody just to see where this goes. So Letitia, do you want to be the client? You happy with that?
I would love to, yes.
Okay, perfect. Wasn't anyone else really that enthusiastic in ACH trainings? I wonder why. Okay, but does everyone understand what I mean when I say stop worrying about what happens after the hypnotic interview? Because I think that's where the pressure starts. Okay, so what I'm going to do, Letitia's going to tell us something, and then I'm going to say, guys, what questions are you curious about? We'll do it as a group. I might get 5 or 6 examples. We'll pick the best one. I'll ask Letitia that question, and then I'll come back to you guys about what to do next. Okay? All right. So I'll start it. I'll be their therapist. So Letitia, what's the problem? What do you want to work on?
I need to tackle my priorities in the order that I have them each day. And I seem not to do them.
Perfect. What has Letitia now told us? What do we know so far?
What her conscious
She's not
mind
tackling her problems.
Tackling her problem. We know now what she thinks the problem is. Okay, tackle priorities. Now, people might say, well, she used the word tackle. That's negative. Maybe she's thinking negative thoughts about her priorities. Don't do that. We're not there yet. Don't think. So, out of what she just said, we'll shorten her question, her answer. I have to tackle my priorities. Let's just use that. What are you guys curious about? What question can we throw out there? Do not solve it. Do not overthink it. What does that make you curious about?
What priorities?
What priorities? What else?
What makes
What
them
is tackling?
What is tackling?
How's that a problem for you?
How is that a problem for you? Yeah. So a couple of different directions. Okay. Just because I remember the question, how's that a problem for you, Letitia? Why don't you just do them?
Chancellor? Oh, okay.
Yes. In your own time.
I seem to always do something else instead and get to the priority later on.
Perfect. What do we know now?
She's procrastinating.
Procrastinating. Yep.
Distractions.
Could be distractions.
Doesn't sound like her priority's a priority.
Yep.
Oops,
Priorities are
sorry.
a priority. Yep.
She can tackle her priorities. She just does them later.
Who picked up on that? It's a good insight.
she could be lying to herself about what her priorities really are.
Yep. All good questions. So you see from 2 questions in, we've already had 5 or 6 or 7 different ways to use her word, tackle the answer. See what I mean, guys? I'm not just locked into one way to do it. So out of all the answers you gave me, from what I can remember, because I wasn't really listening, I was actually thinking about something else. Letitia, let me ask you, and I'm going to do the stupid, why are you looking off to the side, Scott, even though you told us not to? It's because I have to get myself back in the session. What ones are you choosing to do later in those priorities?
Which ones I'm choosing to do later?
Yeah.
The ones that consume the most time.
So what do we know now? And by the way, that was a horrible question for me to ask because that was forced. Did everyone see that? And it came out sounding shitty. So I apologize for that. So what do we know?
Things that
take time. Yep.
Things that she perceives take too much time are the things that she avoids. So I'd focus on what's that connection.
Yep.
And stretch it.
Yep. Agreed. What else? Who's stuck in a corner like shit? Where do I go with this? And I get it, albeit there's not a lot of pain here, so it's going to be hard to pick up. But who went into coaching mode like, why doesn't she just make a better list? Who writes her list? Why don't she just have better priorities? What's wrong with keeping those ones later? Because it makes sense if she's got more time later. Why wouldn't she do the priorities later to have more time? all reasonable responses who would find themselves caught in a corner here like, shit, what do I do with this? I'm going to kick you out, Rosalito.
She mentioned order at the beginning, so she is doing this order.
Yep.
So why?
Yep, I agree.
Not why, but yeah.
I agree.
What is it about that order?
Yep, I agree.
Well, I'd ask her, Scott, like, what's troubling her about what takes so long?
Yeah. So to go off that question you ask, Ivan, so Letitia, and again, I'm trying to force these questions not to solve it. What's wrong with the way you're doing things now?
I'm not getting enough sleep.
Huh. Now we've got something else. See the difference? Now, a coaching question should have been, okay, get a piece of paper, Letitia. Let's write out a list of priorities and tick them off as you do them. And each time you do them, give yourself a chocolate as a reward. That actually sounds pretty good. But so not getting enough sleep. What do we know now?
She's going deeper.
Yeah, going deeper. Advanced chocolate therapy. Oh yeah, that's good.
She has a problem with her sleep.
Could be. Anything else?
Maybe we can connect. Might be the more sleep easy to go. and-
Yeah, we could. I don't think we'd want to because then we're doing something, but I know where your thinking is, Vedrana.
Well, it seems like we really don't know anything yet. We haven't really,
Yeah.
these are just guesses on her part.
Now you know the purpose of this exercise.
I would ask, how is this two related, priorities and sleep?
Yep. So, Letitia, what's wrong with the sleep you're getting now?
It's not enough. I'm always tired.
Who knew she was going to say that? It's a rational response. Back to your question, Gladys. Is there a time when, or can you imagine a time when? Of course, when I say, what's wrong with the sleep you're getting now? I'm not getting enough. She's already told us this. Okay, so what are we curious about? What do we know?
I'd ask her, does it help? Do you find it helpful to leave the things that take longer till later?
Yep, could ask that.
I would wonder which of those priorities is keeping her awake.
Mm-hmm.
Good question. That actually makes me curious. I could ask that, but I'm going to ask her as, are any of those priorities keeping you awake, Letitia?
Yes.
Oh, good stuff. Rosalito, you're back in. I'm not kicking you out anymore. Now, what just happened then? And this is such an awkward session, but you see we get there in the end anyway.
A long unconscious moment.
Yeah. But didn't I say before, we're not going to solve it? Don't worry about the therapy. Don't worry about unconscious moments. Didn't we just say that? So why did it show up in the most awkward of demos we've ever done? Why did it show up?
Because when the
Because
mind
you're staying
wants,
curious.
Go ahead, Gladys. You're on the right track.
when the unconscious mind wants to solve it, it's going to do it.
Not us. Not the paper on the wall. I don't care who you
Because
were.
we were not forcing it. We
Not forcing.
just allowed her. Yeah, we just allowed her to go there.
We're utilizing what the mind does naturally, which is solve problems. But I can't solve a problem until I understand it. So all I'm doing is trying to understand it. Now, based on what she's given us, she gave us an unconscious moment. We now have two different directions we can go. If you've done ACH, you'll remember something called the ETM. So by being curious, Scott, you're telling me I have a wider range of things I can do. Yes, you're not caught in a corner anymore. It's actually three things I could do. I could ask her about her response. I could ask her how she's feeling now. Or all in all, I could ask her about the unconscious moment she just had, which encapsulates them all anyway. Which direction do you guys want to go?
The unconscious moment.
I just remembered those choose your own adventure books. Talk about age regression, right? I used to read them as a kid. That's what sort of it's like. So Gladys, sorry, got off track. What did you say?
Go to the unconscious moment.
Yeah. So Ivan, least amount of words. How could I ask her about her unconscious moment? Least amount of words.
What just happened?
Beautiful. So Letitia, what just happened?
I realize that I'm focusing on the wrong thing.
Did we tell her to do that? No. I still don't know what the hell she's talking about. I don't know what she means. We don't even have an example of the priorities, which might have helped as well. She's focused on the wrong thing. So Ivan, good job. What should we do right now, knowing she's just had a little insight, aha moment? What could we do to enhance that?
What's so funny?
That's so funny. Isn't that interesting? And there she goes again. Eyes blinking. Blinking again. Blinking again. Patience. There she goes again. And if I kept being an asshole and kept saying that, she'll fall into that. Okay. Now, one-on-one is going to be more intimate. It's going to be a lot more respect. She knows we're just having fun. I'm not being an asshole about this, but it's happening. And all we've done is just remain really, really curious about something. Who has really any idea or context of what she's talking about? I don't, because we don't know. We haven't even asked. Okay. But she told us she's focusing on the wrong thing. She's having some unconscious moments. We know as professionally trained ACHs and Macs to sit there and just let it happen. We'll make sure she's safe. We could go that direction. What else could we do? That would be the most appropriate one, but what else could we do?
Could we start doing some testing?
We do some testing. I'd want to get some feedback first. Like, what are you doing now? What's happening? ETM, how are you feeling right now? So which way do you guys want to go?
Feeling.
Feeling.
Yeah, I've been thinking the ETM because she's laughing. I want to go see something's funny. What's going on?
Yeah. So Letitia, how are you feeling right now? There she goes again. Here come the emotions.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So helpful. Woo!
There you go. Haven't we been doing that all along? Pretty cool, right? Now, so helpful. Thank you. We didn't do anything. Letitia, can you imagine a time when you've gone through your full list of priorities? I don't mean to pick on you, Gladys, it's just while it come up.
Oh, it's good. Go ahead.
How good did it feel? And I wonder how quickly, here's the hypnotic language, how quickly you could get through those priorities, all the while feeling good, but remembering to breathe now, but only do it in your time so you never have to worry about priorities again. Scott, shut up. She's baking. She's trying on the suit. Now, I let her have this. She gave us a bit of an insight. Doesn't mean all the knots are gone. I'll wait for that to settle down. And then we start the second mini session. We say, well, how are you feeling, Letitia? How are you feeling about the priority list right now? We'll do some testing. How are you feeling about that?
I'm excited.
Really? About what specifically?
I actually feel good about what I was postponing to the end of my day. I actually feel good about it now. I was not looking at that in a positive light when it actually is.
Actually is. Therapy. Actually is, right?
Being stuck. Yeah, thank you.
Any questions, guys? Now, albeit we had some fun, but the whole purpose of the exercise, if we just add some fun into this and you just ask any question, we eventually get it. Remember that all roads lead to Rome. The pressure we're putting on ourselves is, Letitia says, I have priorities I don't want to do that it's affecting my sleep. We start thinking, oh my God, I have that too. Don't do that. Don't worry about your stuff. But then we also go into fix-it mode because we care for Letitia and we want it to happen quickly. I want her to get excited about this again. And I go through these myriad of questions in my own mind and emotions when I need to just focus on her. Does that make sense, guys? And we avoided all of the things on that list. And she's still in the suit room right now, trying the suits on. We're not even talking about it anymore. So if I'm working with Letitia one-on-one and she's sitting in front of me doing this over Zoom, what could I do as a therapist, aside from the safety stuff, but what could I do as a therapist just to keep this thing going for as long as it needs to?
That's right.
Process instructions.
Take your time.
Take time, doing a good job. That's the therapy, isn't it? Now, again, I don't want to dive into that because not everyone's done the ACH training and that we're doing the hypnotic interview. But just from the hypnotic interview, we got a solution. The therapy started. The cake was baking in the oven. She was trying the suits on. So back to my original idea, which is what if we just forget about doing the rest for now and just get so good at this part? Do you think if I forget to do a demarcation, it's going to have any effect on pure unconscious change? Probably not. Testing? Probably not. Process instructions? Probably not. Telling that ridiculous Ericksonian story? Probably not. You'll probably ruin it rather than anything. But all in all, when Letitia's in this suit room, she's still going there now. The best thing we can do is just shut up and let her be there. Don't add the language on top, the timeline, I want you to try this suit on because your eyes are blue and the red suit will bring out your blue eyes, whatever. I don't want to add anything to this. I want to slow down and be patient and let the mind do what it's supposed to do. And looking at Letitia's face just now, I think she's found something else. What do we call this? Anyone remember?
Unconscious emerging phenomena.
Unconscious emerging phenomena. So by me babbling about rubbish, the mind is busy working. Okay? Pure unconscious phenomena. Okay? Which is a fancy word for solution. So what did you just come up with, Letitia? That's a good enough answer for me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh.
There comes the processing. Everyone see it?
So
I'm happy too. Very happy. Here come the emotions, processing, trying on the suits. But what did we just do? The hypnotic interview. We didn't worry about anything else. Any questions, guys?